reason? Okay. No. That's
All
good.
right.
So, what state did you live in during
So Maine,
Maine?
yes. Have you heard about the state?
Actually, not much. How
So
like
this
for
is really small state. Uh, I got like letter from my personal like placement organization. I was really impressed because it was my first time hearing about that state. So it is located near to the Canada, and yeah, pretty white state. A lot of white people.
did you feel any like cultural shock when you went to the US?
Of course. So here, like in Kyrgyzstan, we used to being not really for
Wait. Nurshat, I think I accidentally muted you. I'm sorry.
okay.
I
It's
meant
better.
to another person. Yes, now it's good.
All right. So yeah. So here in Kyrgyzstan, we are not really communicative. Like we don't really like intend to speak much. And there, for example, even the teachers that you don't know, they can say hello, good morning. So everyone is really nice and open to talk. So that was one of the things I was really impressed. And in the beginning, it was hard to get used to because like I don't know the person, but still I have to say hi. And time by time, like I appreciate that I've learned like small talk stuff because like now we have to survive in not working world with
Yeah.
our small talk. So yeah, that was one of the things. And what do I have? I think yeah, pretty much all.
Did you have another cultural shock when you came back to your homeland from the
Of
US?
course, of course. So we have the term that we call reverse culture shock when
Yes,
we
yes.
came back and everything is like seems really different. And
Yeah.
like buildings were not enough tall that in America, for example. So, but we had some programs where like we were together with the other Flex alumni and it was like easy to adapt.
Cool. That sounds like a wonderful experience.
Exactly.
And did it impact anyhow, like in any way, your decision to apply abroad, or did you know that you were going to apply abroad before Flex?
Now, so as I mentioned, um, after Flex, I decided to apply abroad. Before that, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna meet people
Yeah.
in Kyrgyzstan, and after maybe after bachelor's, maybe masters, I'll be doing like abroad. But like after the US, I decided, okay, I love world. I think I have to explore, study somewhere else, not only in my country. So it definitely affected.
Hmm. How was the school there compared to your school before there, before going to the US?
Okay, so we had difference was in our educational system. So here in Kyrgyzstan, we don't. I'm from like public school. We don't really choose the classes that we want to take. But in the US, like I had an opportunity to choose whatever I want to study, and it was like divided to levels actually. Like for example, here we have algebra from 7th to 11th grade, and you study algebra for 5 years, and it's not really divided to levels. There, you could take like I don't know algebra 2, calculus, pre-calculus, all of those. And other than that, they had great sports system. So you could like after your classes, you could join sport clubs and play. And I couldn't do that in my school because we had only volleyball, and I wasn't really good at volleyball, so I wasn't really playing. I wasn't a sport person. And there I decided to try a lot of them. I've been doing cheerleading, basketball, tennis. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's a lot.
yeah. I was like, oh my God, I can choose everything. So I will try everything.
Why don't I just choose everything, right?
Yeah.
I hope you
So
well.
what else do we have? And that you so there you could choose, for example, AP, IB, something college connected. And for example, here, no, we have only one, for example, test that we have to take to get admitted to the universities, to local universities. And there, you have a lot of opportunities. And another thing that teachers there were helping, for example, to apply to universities. And here it's not really like that. You do your test and you go by yourself. Not teachers don't really help you.
Hmm.
So these are differences, I guess.
Yeah, that's understandable. I think much of that can also be applied to as differences between the US and Uzbekistan too. For those
Hmm.
in Uzbekistan. Okay. Now, aside from flex, let's turn our directions slightly towards admissions.
Yeah, sure.
Now 19 years old, and you're majoring in what?
Business.
Business, a fellow business major. And you have a startup that
Hmm.
you mentioned.
Come again?
And you have a startup, right? You mentioned.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit more about your startup right now?
Yeah, sure. So we have started our. It is not big. It is a small startup. It is connected to learning English. So I'm coming from rural Kyrgyzstan, where we don't really have an opportunity to learn English. I've been, for example, going to a lot of courses to find out which one works for me like better, and it was really hard for me to learn English. And after coming back from the US, me and my friends we decided, okay, we have to do something because there are a lot of, for example, uh, like young people who want to study abroad. They want to learn English, but they don't really have like I don't know courses. So we decided to start that. It's been 1 year, but we had a lot of I don't know cohorts because we were busy with our admissions, and so right now we are doing teaching English, and so we have also like as a bonus some I don't know webinars connected to studying abroad and preparation to the test. For example, IELTS. Recently, we had an IELTS with the girl Bulasal. She got 9 at IELTS. We were really impressed, and we had an
Nice.
interview with her. So yeah, that I think that's all for about startup.
So nice. And what was your overall application like? So you had your first gap year, right? How did your first gap year go? Let's start from that timeline then.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the first gap year, um, I came back from the US and I decided, okay, I want to do some projects because, like, after being in the Flex alumni, if you're like really interested in that, you can apply to the grants. You can be, for example, city either university representative and do some projects like monthly. So I've been doing that every month. I've been organizing some community projects that could help like other young people, um, especially girls. I've done some sisterhood talks project that I've mentioned to you. so um, so we were talking about mental health, we were talking about career stuff, and so my first year mostly we're focused like on organizing a lot of community projects. So
Nice.
yeah.
And you also had another project called She Can, right?
Yeah, yeah. So she can. We were doing vision boards with girls, and after that, we were like talking about careers, sharing some opportunities, what we can do, as a girls who live in Central Asia, something like that. So yeah, and I remember another thing. So also, other than projects, I've been doing some internships connected to marketing because I'm really into
Mhm.
social media marketing, and since I'm doing business, I think this was one of the things like that helped me to get admitted because like having a hands-on experience definitely helped me.
And how did that internship go?
It was great, and it was a like starting startup, but really successful and connected to IT. But mostly my tasks were connected to the social media. We've been doing some videos, or we've been analyzing leads who can learn our program, all of those. And that was such a great thing to learn and apply to my startup itself. And yeah, I think overall it was great. I've been doing for 2 months, and that helped like me to grow in a professional way a lot.
Nice. And I also remember you mentioning that you were helping Flex alumni, right, in Kyrgyzstan with their content creating too.
Yes,
Or
exactly. Yeah. So we had a group with other Flex alumni. We were doing some social media content for our page, Flex Alumni KG. We were doing videos and like I don't know, um, different stuff to just get engaged the alumni, and so we could invite them to our meetings. So all of those were mostly from social media. So we were actively doing that stuff.
nice. Okay. And your second gap year, how did that go? Like you
All right.
be proactive.
Uh,
Did it
Chaotic
go the
moment.
same way as your first one? Did you also focus on projects and internships?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the second gap year, it was um I had a lot of stuff because I have started my first year here in a local university,
Mm.
and we had a lot of time to study. Like at the university, I had to study a lot, and that's why it was a bit hard to focus on my application. And other than that, I've decided to continue to represent Flex, and I decided to be a coordinator of the volunteering club. And I had a huge team to coordinate, and it was also a bit hard, but now it's going well. And so I had university, I had Flex volunteering club, I had also application, and what else I've done. And so this year, so the second gap year itself started in like August, July, where I decided, okay, I have to apply to American universities, and where SAT stuff started.
Mm. Oh, the pain of the SATs.
Yes, exactly.
And how did that go for you? What about like your IELTS scores, your SAT scores? Did you take them?
Okay, so I decided to send extra Duolingo because I was running out of time, and I
Yeah.
decided maybe a Duolingo is faster way to send something. So I took Duolingo, and um, SAT I took twice, but it wasn't like ideal 1500. So I decided to keep it test optional.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. And
So
you had
yeah.
it's optional. That's also a great feat.
Yeah.
Great. So, what were some lessons, I guess, that you learned from your first gap year to your second gap year? Were the expectations that you had about admissions, how you saw the admissions world in your first gap year, the same as you did in the second gap year? I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
All right, interesting question. Actually, since like in my first gap year, I wasn't really focusing like an application American Common App system, and so my second gap year, I wasn't full of experience. It was something new. But
mm,
now, for example, to the guys sitting here, I could recommend you guys to have a great timeline where like when you are taking your SAT, when you are taking your IELTS, or like when you are writing your essay. Please be disciplined. So this
please be
is
disciplined.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like as I said, like I've been doing a lot of stuff, and I was just, I don't know, maybe spending too much time on something that didn't really work, and I could, for example, that time spent on something different, so like make my application better. So yeah, so I wasn't really fully experienced for my second gap year because it was total different system.
Mm, yeah. I think it's that's just the thing with admissions that makes everything very, very tricky is that you never have enough time as early as you start. Like, it's never early. It's never early to start. It's you should start
Yes.
right now.
That's true.
Yeah, even if you're very young. Yeah. And how about your general application? Can you tell us a little bit about that? How was that?
General application, human essays, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And describe it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So as I said, my tests were not really good, and so I decided, okay, I have to write great essay to explain my um, application to make it better. So I've been doing. Okay, sorry. I've written my personal statement. It was connected to my to the topic, like I'm a girl from Central Asia, and to the like problems here, and I've connected that from to the experience that I've been in the US. And yeah, and what about the activities? I've written the stuff that I've mentioned, like social media content creating, internships connected to marketing, and coordinating volunteering club. What are internships at Education USA? It was really short actually, and also learning languages um, because learning languages was part of my application because I'm doing startup like connected to English.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, I think these are the if you have any detailed questions, I'm happy to answer.
Nice, nice, nice. That sounds like a well rounded application. What was among your extracurriculars, if you can choose, and I know this is very hard to choose, but what was your um favorite extracurricular that you really, really enjoyed doing? And then what was your least favorite that you did not enjoy as much doing?
Okay, okay. Extracurriculars. So, I actually mentioned flex as a extracurricular, by the way, not as
Mm,
as an activity, as an exchange.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that was my one of the favorite ones, and other one is my English food startup because I was doing that like with my friends, and it was impacting a lot. So that's why like I really loved it. And least favorite, probably internships because they are hard.
Working
It's
for free, right?
yeah, time consuming, time consuming. So I had a lot of internships, so that's why like overall it was a bit hard for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But at least you have the professional experience now.
Exactly.
That's career oriented.
Hmm.
And what about essays? Like, do you even remember the essays that you wrote, or have you just like completely deleted everything that was pre getting admitted to your
No,
memory?
I wish I could do. No, 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 but I decided to save them. So personal statement, as I mentioned, it was connected to my background, like girl from Central Asia, and I was connecting how like different it is in the US, how different it is here for goals, opportunities, and all of those.
Hmm.
And uh, I've written that as an, I don't know, a bit in a poetic way, a bit deeply, because personal statement itself, it like
It's
you have to
yeah.
think a lot, right? So yeah, and about my the extra essay that we were writing, it was I think you guys know the question. It is like bridge building, connecting people, and I I decided to include English food because my goal was helping the young people learning language to connect and to connect them with the bigger world because English is the bridge and I am the bridge who is connecting them so
Hmm.
with the opportunities. So that was the main topic of my essay for NYU.
Very metaphorical. And languages do indeed. They are bridges when you think about it from that point.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Nice. And so you applied to NYU Abu Dhabi, right? Was NYU Abu Dhabi your first choice when you applied?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So I applied as a early decision too.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't apply to early decision first one, but I wish I could do. It was my first choice. In terms of finance, it is really generous university, you guys know, and I really liked the exchange program that we can do, like semester abroad. So that's why it was my like choice.
Nice. And shortly after you applied, you probably received an invitation to a candidate weekend, right? The infamous candidate weekend. It was different for everybody, but how did that go for you?
Right. Uh, you made a candle and oh my god, I'm shocked because I didn't really expect it was in the end of the January and application stuff it wasn't really finished and it was one of the successful cases. I was like, oh my god, is it real? Because when you are applying to a lot of universities, like writing essay becomes routine and you don't really know like is it successful or not. So
Okay.
getting that email was really good thing. And in 1 week I was sending all of the documents to the so they could make a visa and all of those stuff. And overall candidate weekend, it was good for me because we had two interviews 15 minutes each. And before that I was really nervous because like I didn't really knew, but the guys who finished, they were saying that it is chill, you don't have to worry about this, but still like since this
Yeah,
interview is
I'm really
affecting
anxious.
how you will spend your like 4 years. So still I was in the beginning nervous, but then I understood, okay, I have to deal with this. And if I will speak, no, I think like I know what I'm talking about. And since I'm here, the people already know that I am like great fit. So I was
Mhm.
trying to show that I am like great fit for NYU AD. So yeah, and we had some classes and the sessions that we could choose. I was doing some music psychology stuff. It was mostly about like making a soundtracks. Uh, and in the interviewee asked like, "Do I like this session?" And I said yes, and I connected why and all of those.
Mm. What about the music psychology? Do they is that like a thing on Candidate Weekend that you all do soundtracks with music and psychology?
Actually, so we had some options to choose. You could choose, I don't know, finance or something like this. I decided, okay, it sounds interesting, and I chose this. And students could actually choose what do they want to experience, like as a session. So yeah, mine was music connected to psychology. It was fun actually.
Yeah, I can imagine. But why did you choose specifically that if you're a business major? It's just out of curiosity.
Okay, so actually, I'm interested in media too. And I'm planning maybe do interactive media as a minor. So, ha okay, am I having some problems, Jasmine?
No, 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 I can hear you.
Okay, great. All right. So and they were people were saying that it doesn't really affect our admission, so you could choose whatever you want. So
Mm.
that's why I chose this.
That sounds like a very fun choice.
Yes.
And if the interview, if I'm not mistaken, it should be on the second day, right?
Yes, exactly.
And how did the first day go? What was that filled with?
hmm So the first day was actually we had a for the first part of the day we were listening to the important people there, deans and professors. They were introducing us to the system itself. And on the second part of the day, we were on the desert, and it was just fun. You know, first day was just like see what is NYU and what is in like Abu Dhabi and how you can live and in general. And the second day, then the interview and hard stuff started.
Mm. On the reading comprehension test, right?
hmm So yeah, in the first part of the day, we had our reading comprehension. It was such a like a reading test, and on the second part, we had the interviews and the sessions. And in the morning, actually, we had some tour, campus tour.
Interesting. And do you still speak with or like engage with anyone with the people that you met at Candidate Weekend? Did any of them get admitted?
Yes, most of them get admitted because like people were saying that maybe 60 or either 80% of the people who were at Candidate Weekend, they got admitted. And I think that's true because most of my friends that I met there, they are admitted to NYU and I hope I will see them in August. So yeah, but it depends on the country too, like how many people got admitted, something like this.
Yeah, yeah. Every country has its own quota.
hmm
That's very sweet. Now, what would be like some tips that you would give for future applicants to NYU Abu Dhabi for the interview, and how did your interview go?
hmm All right. So please be prepared. Everyone's saying, okay, be chill, but no, you have to know what you are gonna speak. So you have to know what you are gonna speak. And if you are, for example, you don't really remember what you have written on your essays, please go over your essays, go over your application, so you could know who are you to them, you know. And I think it helps you to picture yourself as a great student. So, and when you are speaking, please be open, like show that uh, you are really the person from your application. So, if you are here, so you have to understand that if you are here, you are definitely like you have a you are successful. So, and other thing, show that you are a great fit. I think the goal of candidate weekend is just to match the student with the university. Um, Not only they are choosing you, also you are choosing NYUAD. So you have to, like, if you are going to spend your 4 years here, you have to see what you are going to do and just show this that you are a great fit to university.
Yeah, and I feel that's also like often underestimated, that aspect of not just showing how good you are and how stellar you are, how pretty you are, but like also showing that you and the university are a great match, that you fit each other like a puzzle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Nice. And what are some upcoming plans you have for NYU Abu Dhabi? Like once you get to campus, what's the first thing we're gonna do when you're gonna do once you get to campus?
Okay, and these are um, I have a couple of plans I hope I will do. So first thing is I want to be part of the social media team because like I want to show like campus life for the NYU page on Instagram. And other than that, I want to maybe come up with a club. Maybe I will open a club where we'll have people, social media content creators. I'm really interested, and I want to be a content creator. I'm already doing some content, so I think I will open up some one club for that. And other thing, and I'm really interested in like guest sessions where we have successful person speaking about their experience. So maybe
Yeah,
yeah. So maybe I will do something similar on campus.
that sounds like a wonderful like idea.
Thank you,
Um,
thank you.
yes. And do you plan on double majoring, or maybe like how likely is it that you're gonna change your major, or are you like very solid and very sure about going with business?
So I actually thought that like I will do business and for sure, but after hearing some experiences of students there, they were saying that interactive media at NYAD itself, like it's fun, it's really interesting. So I'm planning to do a minor, but I will see. And recently I had a meeting with an NYU alum, and he was saying that I could do since business and like interactive media, they are not too hard as, for example, computer science and like economics. I could do both of them as a major. So I'm planning to do that. But we'll see. Time will show, actually.
Yeah, yeah, these things are very unpredictable.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. And what are some hobbies that you have right now, like post admissions after getting admitted? What are some hobbies that you currently take part in or have
Hobbies.
taken part in? Go on.
Mm, I think reading books, like really chill. Yeah, spending time with my friends, with my family, doing some activities with them, like playing tennis. I love tennis a lot.
Tennis.
And
Tennis?
tennis.
Like big tennis, right?
Yes, 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 big one.
It's nice.
And what else? I really love writing some posts like text. And you remember that I've said that if you guys love writing like itself, it is really such a great skill because it will help when
Yeah.
you are gonna write your essays because you already know how to connect words, how to connect like since you are poetic, you can connect
Yeah.
that thing with that thing. So writing, I love it. And what else? Mm, just hang out with my friends, I guess. Yeah, trying like going to the mountains, relaxing, reconnecting with nature.
After admissions, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That should be a meme, actually. Yeah. You mentioned learning languages too. Like, how many languages do you know?
Okay, so I speak Kyrgyz, and my second language is Russian, and I learned English that I'm speaking right now,
Yeah.
and I started learning Spanish when I was in high school in the US, and I'm continuing this. And I've learned Turkish in my first gap year. Yeah, so five.
Well, five languages. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you, thank you.
Nice. And out of books, what do you like to read?
Uh, what do I mostly? detectives because now, for example, I have Dan Brown Inferno. If you guys know this book, I
Interesting.
love it so much. It is like connected to history and also finding out really interesting mysterious situation. So yeah, and detectives, um, some romantic novels. I
Mm.
love it too,
Hmm.
and sometimes motivational books. But you have to find the one
Yeah,
that will motivate you. So yeah,
because despite their name, they do not all motivate you, unfortunately.
exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, you have your own set of hobbies, but like when you were in admissions, did you do any of them? Did you have the time to do them? I mean, writing, obviously, you were sort of forced to do, but like, what about the others? Did you do them or did you completely like cut them off?
Mm, so I've been hanging out with my friends because we were applying together. So yeah, so we were just meeting, talking, and also doing some sort of application stuff. And uh, I've been reading books. It is always like you always have time to read books. And what else? What else? Actually, I forgot to mention. I also love like taking photos, creating content, and I couldn't do that when I was applying because like uh, it was time consuming.
Yeah,
So that is one of the hobbies that I couldn't really do while I was applying to universities.
nice. And tennis, basketball, cheerleading, did you do that when you were like applying? Did you have time for that?
No, no, actually, like cheerleading. After the US, never. It was really hard. And tennis, no, no, still like sometimes we do that per month, once per month. That works for me. Now I want to do more, of course.
Tennis is a great sport. I love
Mm-hmm.
I spent like 5 years of my life doing that. It's very nice.
Great job, girl. Great job.
Thank you. And for cheerleading, I mean, you were still cheering yourself though throughout admissions. I hope you
Oh
were.
my God, yeah.
Nice. And what would be some advice that you would give to those currently applying? I can imagine that our audience, it probably consists of those applying this year or next year, maybe. So, what would be some tips that you would give, like in admissions and beyond too?
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. As I have mentioned, guys, be disciplined, have your timeline. I'm already speaking to like to people who are planning to apply this fall, and I'm saying like if you are studying for SAT, if you haven't started, please do now because like math and English, it always like needs some time to do. So that's why. And what else? Please start writing your essays too because you're gonna change it a lot. Every day you're gonna wake up, oh my God, is it ideal or is it not? You will change. Mm,
And
so,
we'll rewrite it too.
mhm. So definitely now is a great time to start. What else I can advise? Um, if you kind of feel that your extracurriculars are not enough, you have some time, 3 or more months. I don't know, half of the year. You have half of the year, 6 months to do. So you can start anything you want. Like not to be really like focused on academics. Just like do whatever you want that inspires you and that shows you like as a person.
Hmm.
So. Mhm.
Nice. Those are some great advice.
Mhm.
Good points that you made. But you mentioned the personal statement, and that also brought me back to another point. So it's usually something very, very time consuming, and it's something that takes like many, many tries, many rewrites, many edits. How was that like for you? But like sometimes I hear students, and some of them write it in like a day's time, or like in a week, and others they say that they write it in like 8 to 9 months. What was it like for you?
For me, um, so most of the time I've been focusing like for studying for SAT, and I left that part to the end. And I've been writing for maybe 2 months, but I've been changing it a lot. For example, in the beginning, I was focusing on that topic, and after I was like, this is not showing me as a great person. I want to change. So it was like about 2 months, but not every day. No, no, no.
Did you rewrite it at some point?
Yeah, of course. Like I've been changing, I guess every word. Like, is it because when you love to write, you're writing a lot of words, but you have to cut off half of that.
Yes, yes, yes. And that's always a
So
good
like,
if you have because most of the time people have like don't have enough space to write or don't have enough of things to write about. But then you also have the this different case where you wrote like 1,200 words and
yeah,
you
yeah,
cut half of it and make an essay out of it.
exactly.
And if you love writing like Nurshat does, it probably feels like you're cutting pieces of yourself off, of your soul off.
That's true, girl. That's true.
And how did your love for writing start? Or was it like inherent from you from birth?
No, no, no. So, um, in my 10th grade, I participated in the Russian Olympiad. And we were writing a lot of essays for that. So since that time, I decided, okay, I really love writing. And after reading any book and like after facing any experience, I'm like, okay, I want to write my reflections, my like what I'm analyzing, and from that, from those times, like my love to writing comes. But I'm not a poet, everyone. I just love writing. That's all.
Not Emily Dickinson, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it's always nice to write reflections, and it's very nice that you started that way before admissions. I think that's actually that's a very rare case. Like when people usually talk about reflections, they usually say it because like they saw it on some admissions course that says, "Oh, you need to read a book and then write a reflection." But it's really nice that you started that way before. And to everyone too, I guess that's also another piece of advice to always reflect on yourself. You don't necessarily have to write it, but even if you write it, it's much better. But just for the sake of knowing yourself better and having a better sense of what you can write about in your application too, always reflect.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay. I see that our chat is flooded with questions.
Mm-hmm.
I see the first one. Um, by the way, is it okay that if we move on to the questions now, or do you have anything else that you want to share?
No, I think that's all. We can start
Okay.
answering the
If
questions.
anything comes to mind, feel free to like interrupt and blurt out whatever you want to say.
All right.
So the first question, which has weirdly enough a worm reaction to it, it says, "Hi, what are your stats, extracurricular activities, and honors list? What kind of essay structure did you use?" That's a
Mhm.
broad question. So the extracurriculars, I think she elaborated on. Why don't you remind about the rest of them?
Okay. So honor list. As I mentioned Russian Olympiad. So it was Republic Olympiad in our country, and I participated. I took first place in regional stage, and I was top five on a Republican. So what that was one of my like honors. And what kind of a structure did I use? So it was I decided to start from the hook where I can just say it. For example, I said I am standing in the what was that in 92nd floor of the building in New York, and just thinking about how the girl from Central Asia, like in 70 years old, did it like by herself. So it started something like this, and I started, and then I decided to explain what was the story and how I came up, how I have finished there, standing there. So it started from the hook, and after like just time wise, like um, in a historical order.
Nice. That's a very sweet intro. Very reflective.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
Now the next question is, how can we show that we are suitable for the university?
Okay, I think first thing that you can do is do your research and explore what opportunities the university provide and which one do you want to use. A lot of people like mentioning all of the opportunity that university have without really connecting to themselves. For example, I want to do this club, that. No, like you want to know, you have to know why you are doing those. And do you have any explanation? Do you have any experience in that sphere so you could do, and why you are interested in this? So overall, like, do your research and after find out which stuff you want to do. I think in that way you can show how suitable you are.
Yeah. And everything you do, it has to have relevance to your application. You can't just randomly go out on an MUN because you think that it works for applications in general.
Exactly.
Nice. Now, the next question is, what was your biggest advantage among other applicants? SAT, extra S? What's an extra?
Extracurriculars, I think, right?
Oh, extra. Yeah, problem. Extra.
So my biggest advantage, probably the of course not test. Uh, I think the connection between the things that I've done to the things that I want to do. Because, as I said, I'm intended to major in business and maybe in interactive media, and I've been doing to show the that I have real interest in that. Uh, I do, for example, startup. I've been working on projects, and it was really connected. And the person who's like reading my application can really see that, okay, this person wants to do this, and I see why. And also, I think my personal statement, because it was first of all in New York. So the final topic, so final destination was in New York, and I've connected that like from how I came from small city to New York or something like this. And this is NYU, New York University.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I think that's
Yeah,
all.
your main advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next. Can you just count your ECs?
Okay. Flex exchange year, um, English food startup, internship, marketing internship, education USA internship, content creating, for Flex Alumni KG, and for myself, and what else? Uh, Coordinating volunteering club, being a volunteer for the other volunteering club. It was 2 years, like when I was a high schooler, and learning languages. These were my extracurriculars.
Nice. Um, okay, I think we can move on to the next question.
Mhm.
Currently, you're a sophomore at Manas University, but if you enroll at NYU Abu Dhabi, you will start again as a freshman, right?
Okay, so I'm not a sophomore. I was a freshman because first year we learned language, and my second gap year was like freshman year at Manas. And yes, when I will enroll to NYU AD, I will start as a freshman.
Nice, nice, nice. Um, Hello, thank you for your time. Can you tell more about your gap year experience? What did you do with university? Did you include your year into application? How was the documentation stuff working there?
Mm-hmm. All right. So I haven't mentioned my university because like I've been doing here different major. It was like tourism, and I'm going to do business, and it was like impossible, for example, to transfer my um, classes and like grades to NYU. That's why I decided not to mention. And for the part of gap year on the Common App, I mentioned all of the extracurriculars that I've done and how I spent. Since like mm, the things that I've been doing were like my main stuff that I've been doing. Like university just was on the background. I was I was studying less than everyone and mostly focusing on the projects that I'm doing. So it was like easy for me to to fill in that blank.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. From which region are you and in what school did you study?
Okay, I'm from Batken region. This is in the south of the Kyrgyzstan, and I studied at the gymnasium, regional gymnasium.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
How did you like the idea of gap year, especially your second gap year? Was it hard for you to go on such a difficult and important decision?
So, as I mentioned, like I've studied here at the university. It wasn't like a full gap year. My parents were thinking that I'm still studying at Manas, but I on the side I've been applying. So it wasn't really hard for me. I was just doing hustling two
Yeah,
things.
two things at once, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. University student a day and admissions geek at night.
Hmm.
Did you receive a full rights scholarship covering flights, meal, tuition, books, and accommodation?
Yes.
Okay, nice. Straightforward answer. Let me check the group chat just to make sure if we don't miss any questions.
Okay, there is another question, I guess.
Oh, yeah, read it out. What does it say?
Uh, is it is it possible for a student from public school to get accepted to NYUAD on a full ride without flex, I mean, and other exchange programs? I'm sure yes, because like okay, flex is the big part of me, but it was just one row on my application. It was just as an activity, you know? That's why even without a flex, you guys, if you are doing a lot of stuff that you like you definitely can show that you are fully like great fit for the university, and of course you can.
Of course you can. Just believe in yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And flex doesn't just define Nurshat too, I think, right? It probably wasn't a deciding factor in her application.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I don't see any questions in the group. Let's just give.
But statistics is low probably. I have no idea, girl. I have no idea.
Yeah, she's a business major, not a statistics major. Um, which brings me to my other point. Like, do you like math? A very random question, but
mm, yes, I love maths, but not too much. I'm not obsessed with maths, or I just love learning new things, and I think with math you can like just solving the problems. It helps a lot, and I love that part.
nice. Was math the harder section for you on the SAT or the English section?
English, because like
Mm,
math I've been learning for a lot of years, and just it seems like as a common sense, like in any language, math is the same, and
yeah,
English is my third language, and it was hard.
yeah, I can imagine. I heard that American universities don't like it when freshmen apply to them. For them, it's like a betrayal of the university. Is it true? Why don't you say that you just took a gap year after foundation?
Okay. Um,
I think
so
that means like regarding your status as a student at university and like
mhm.
you feel discomfortable like did you feel uncomfortable applying to university even though you're already like sort of a freshman at a different university? I think that's what
Mm, yeah, I see that. I mean, I can't really. I mean, yeah. Wait a second. Mm, it might be a betrayal, but since you guys say it, but I haven't mentioned that. That's and why didn't you say that you just took gap after foundation? I mean, I've already said that I took gap year on my application. I haven't mentioned my university. I think
Yeah,
that makes sense.
makes sense. I saw you at CASC, but I was afraid to approach you. Interesting.
Oh, okay. So last week we had an event, Central Asia Startup Cup, and oh God, a lot of people saw me and they couldn't come up to me. That's sad actually. Guys,
Yeah, guys,
I'm
come
open.
on. Always feel comfortable to come up to people,
Yeah,
especially.
yeah.
So you didn't say that you were a freshman at Manas.
Mm-hmm. I didn't say that.
Okay, that answers that question too. We will give one more minute since the questions are like consistently falling on
Mm-hmm.
us. And if we don't receive any questions, I think we can slowly conclude. But I see another question. Tomer. No idea
What
what
is this? I have no idea.
you know? Tomer. Tomer. Go bao an. Please specify what you mean by Tomer. Very peculiar name you have. Can I compensate my low GPA with an SAT score?
Mm, Actually, I'm not sure. I can't answer to this question because, like, as I said, I had like 5 of 5 GPA. It was like 100%, and I haven't sent my SAT, and I'm not the person who done it, so I could answer to the question.
Hmm. But in my humble opinion, I think that if you do have a low GPA, SAT score does help sort of compensate it because it does show academic vitality to an extent, but it cannot like
Mm-hmm.
completely replace a GPA. So it won't just erase that off your profile. They will still see that and they will still consider that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Next, did you write your essays by yourself fully? What was the process of shaping essays for you?
Mm. Um, yes, and I've been writing by myself, but I've been asking for some feedbacks from my friends because when you are writing, it is, I think, important part because you can write and you can think that this is like such a great essay, but someone who will read can mention which parts you could improve so the reader could understand your point. So yeah, ask for feedbacks. And what was the process of shaping essays? Um, so I've been just writing. Like whenever you have motivation, you can start even now. Like write. What is your reflections? What do you want to write about your essay? And after, like day by day, you can change and shape. Like, and this is a bit like slow process. But I think you can start now.
Yeah. Will you
Will
have
you have?
webinars
Okay,
in Russian?
I think tomorrow um I have another webinar and it's gonna be in Russian, kind of similar like an interview, so you guys can join there.
Interesting. Where's it going to be at?
Um, come again?
Where's it going to be at? What platform?
Uh, I think Google Meet.
No, no, no. I mean like the channel. I think I missed that.
Oh, okay. The channel is Break Free is Break Free. Yeah.
Free. Interesting. Okay. Two new messages. Who did you ask for feedback?
From my friends who were also applying.
Was the preparation done by yourself or did you apply with some consulting companies?
No, I did by myself.
Okay, awesome. Channel name Break Free. Nice. Thank you, Ngo Bao An. Everyone join, please take note of the channel name and say thank you to Ngo Bao An. Okay. Again, one more minute for question. Timer is set. If we don't receive any more questions, I think we can conclude there. But so far, we've been like very active with questions, which I personally am liking. If I choose a computer science major, will my chance be lower to get in? Because I think everybody's choosing it nowadays.
Mm, I'm not sure I can answer this question actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I would say that if your interests align with the computer science major, and if you've done a lot that is also career oriented towards a computer science major, you should obviously not choose like suddenly change it to something like gender studies because it's unique. I would say go with
Mm-hmm.
computer science. Why not Abu Dhabi? Why Abu Dhabi and not Shanghai?
Mm-hmm. Answer is pretty simple. Abu Dhabi is more generous than Shanghai. They can give you full right, and Shanghai not will not.
أختي. Is that okay? No, no. I wrote out. I thought that was a question.
Should answer. Oh my God.
Okay, that was funny. All right. Do we have any more questions?
Okay, guys, couple minutes to answer your questions.
Thank you very much.
Oh, Alia.
Thank you too for joining. It was wonderful to have this very active audience, even though we have now dropped to a humble 11. We have been a very active people, and for that, I'm very grateful to all of you. If you're based in Tashkent, I know that it's now 9:38, which is pretty late. So go get your sleep and best of luck to all of you. Thanks for the webinar, Nurshat. You are the best. Yes, agreed.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys. You are
Thank
so sweet.
you.
Can I
Okay.
contact you sometimes for OSS poetic ones? Oh my god. I think everyone thinks I'm a poet. No. Of course, you guys can contact me. My Instagram is Nurshat.te, Nurshatte, something like this. And I can actually leave my Instagram here. So you guys could contact. Please come up with the
Actually, send it to the group chat so that like it doesn't get lost because we're gonna end the
group chat.
yeah
I'm
at the
not
top.
sure I'm there.
You're not there. Interesting. Okay, I'll copy it then and send it to the group chat.
Thank you both so much for the webinar. It was great and interesting. Thank you for joining, guys.
Thank you for joining, and thank you, Nurshat, too, for joining. It was a very engaging dialogue, and I personally enjoyed it and also learned a lot, even though it's not very applicable to me, but I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too, girl.
Abu Dhabi boss, yes, indeed.
Oh my god.
An Abu Dhabi boss.
All right.
Sure have a lot of fans in this crowd. Thank you though for your support. And best of luck again.
Thanks so
Goodbye.
much.
Abu Dhabi
Bye,
boss.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye.